This is the plaintiff, Rakia Malone. She says she sold the defendant a washer and dryer, and that dirty defendant hasn't paid her yet. If this woman thinks she can just wash her hands on the deal they made, then she doesn't know who she's dealing with, because today's judgment day, and she's suing her for the $250 she's most definitely owed. This is the defendant, Elia Jade. She says the plaintiff had no place to store the washer and dryer, so she said she'd take it off her hands for her as a favor. She had to pay her dad to pick the thing up, and they only worked one time before breaking down. Unfortunately, their relationship's now soiled beyond repair, because she's not paying $250 for something that was given to her. She's accused of staining a deal.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff sold the defendant a washer-dryer and got stiffed. But the defendant says she took the washer-dryer off the plaintiff's hands as a favor. It's the case of one vicious cycle.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, how do you two know each other?
My coworker is her sister.
All right, and were you and the sister friends?
Yes, we were friends.
All right, so you had this washer-dryer that was located where, at your mother's house?
Yes.
And you were trying to sell it?
Yes.
All right, how did you know she might be in the market for it?
Her sister told me that she does hair, or that she did hair, so I got my hair done by her. In the midst of our conversations, we talked about the washer and dryer. I mentioned it to her. She texted me, I want to say, in November about the washer and dryer. And then...
All right, so you guys go back and forth. You decide on a price of $250, right? But she didn't have the money?
No, she told me...
Where was the washer dryer located?
It was in my mom's basement.
And your mom was moving out?
Right, in January.
So it had to go?
Right.
Right. So according to you, what is the deal that you strike? She'll take it and then she'll pay you later?
Right.
And according to her, she was going to pay you, according to you, she was going to pay you when her taxes came in, right?
Right.
All right. Did she?
No.
What happened?
I gave her a while until taxes hit. I texted her, I reached out to her. The first time I reached out to her, she said that she had to submit paperwork for her taxes. And then in another month, so this was in April, I texted her again and I said, hey, you haven't made it a priority to pay
And by
me.
the way, when did she pick up the washer dryer?
In January.
Okay.
And when I reached out to her again in April, she proceeded to tell me that she was going to block me and she wasn't going to pay me the money.
Why? Had there been a problem with her sister and you?
Me and her sister had fallen out.
Okay.
But that had nothing to do with...
Well, no, it shouldn't have anything to do with it, but it did, right?
It probably
like
did.
It sounds to me like it did. What was the problem with the sister?
Me and her had an incident that occurred.
Well, can you give me some specifics?
We had a falling out.
Yeah, what happened?
But that has nothing to do with the case.
Oh, you want to tell me what the falling out was about?
I want to tell you everything.
Yeah, but I want to hear exactly the answers to my question. You want to tell me what the falling out was about?
Oh, the falling out was about the day that I was going to, because the day that my sister called me, her and my sister got into it because she got caught sleeping on my sister's couch with a dude. My sister called me the day that I was going to call her and talk to her about everything. My sister called me before she did. And when she called me, my sister said, oh, Kia hit me, da-da-da-da-da. We got into it or whatever. She
physically hit her?
Yes. She got caught sleeping with the dude she was talking to or whatever on her couch. And when she called me, I called her.
With you.
So when I called her,
This is my boyfriend.
when I called her, I said, what was going on? She's like, oh, I'm going to call you back. Because obviously she felt shameful and she didn't want to talk about what just happened. So she texted me a month later, which was in March, threatening me, talking about if I didn't give her money, she was going to take me to small claims court.
That's not a threat.
Okay.
That's an effort to collect money owed.
That is a threat.
That is, no, it's not.
It is.
Telling you, no, it's not. I'm telling you,
okay,
it is
I
not
take it as a
legal.
threat.
Yeah, I know. Oh, if I don't pay, you're gonna sue me? Yeah, that's the exact opposite of a threat. I'm gonna beat you with a bat if you don't pay me is a threat. I'm gonna do what I have a right to do as a citizen of this country. That's not a threat. All right.
Okay, well, we both have different things about what we think a threat is.
Wait, yeah, mine's the right one.
Okay,
all
that's
right,
fine.
so now, is it magically, after this big problem with the sister, that you decide you're not gonna pay for the washer and dryer?
That wasn't the case. If you sit
Why
here
are you
and let
paying
me...
for the washer and dryer?
Okay, because for one, the washer and dryer does not work. Didn't you get the video when I showed you?
I sure did.
Okay,
you
then.
show me. We're gonna play the video. Hold on.
Play the video.
We're gonna play the video.
Play it.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do, honey.
Okay.
I'm gonna play the video. Didn't I just say I was gonna play the video?
Yes, so play it then.
Okay, well, the first thing that has to happen for me to play the video is my finger has to go from right here down here.
Well, go ahead
Can
then.
you wait that long?
No, you should be able to go ahead and press it.
I am, but I'm busy arguing with you about whether I'm gonna play the video
not arguing with
because
me.
you're smack talking about the video
Okay, but
just
you're
like
not
you
about to be sitting
smack
up here
talked to
talking to
her.
me like you
Look at
crazy.
that, we missed the whole video.
Good.
See, it's closed in here. Now watch this. Now, mind you, it's been stuck at rinse this whole entire time. Now, this whole time it's been sitting there like that. So this washing machine is faulty.
I'm sorry. So this was a video of the button in and the
It
washing
gets stuck
machine
at
wasn't
rinse.
working, and then you pull the button out and it's working. I could
No,
go to my
it gets
washing
stuck.
machine and push a button in
You didn't
and then
hear-
say, I guess it's not working, but look, if I pull it out, it's working.
No,
That's
you
kind of
didn't hear
weird.
the dead noise. When it gets to rinse, it stops like, bzzz, and then I have to push
When
it
did you
back
start
in.
having problems with the washer dryer?
The first time I got it, she asked me, "Did
That's
I pull
interesting.
it?"
So can I see the text where you say to her, hey, this
I was
is
talking
faulty?
to her on the phone when I said this
Do
to
you
her.
have any text where you complain about the washer dryer not working?
No, she asked. But this
Any time before the fight she had with your sister?
No, when I talked to her back in January after she came and got her hair done, I told her, I said, something is not
Douglas,
working right with
sorry, I
the
need to-
washing machine. She said, I will check it out when I come over there. And she never did.
Yeah, that happened? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Girl, you
All right.
lying. Angry beaver face, stop lying. You're lying.
You never call me, shake my head. I will when I get off. Do you still want to buy the washer dryer? Yeah, after I move, if you've got a buyer, go ahead. I was gonna give it to you now, then you just give me the money at income tax time. Oh, okay, thanks. If you can get it before the 31st of the month, I'll give it to you for $250. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you guys chit-chat all the time. January 24th, January 25th. What day did she pick up the washer dryer?
January 19th.
Okay. January 30th, you're chit-chatting. March 7th, you ask her for the money. And her response isn't, this is a piece of garbage like I've been telling you and it doesn't work. Her response is, hi, good morning. I'm still waiting on my taxes. I got to send some more stuff in.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just complain then? And say, why should I pay you?
I've been told her this on the phone. Why do I have to keep
why,
talking
why
to
are
her?
you still willing to pay her March 7th if you were having problems with it January 21st?
I've been told her this. I have been told her this.
Yeah, I know, but why don't you tell her right now when she's trying to, when
Because
she's
we've
hassling you
been
for the
on the
money?
phone,
When
I've
she's
been told her
threatening you
this.
for the money.
I mean, I've been told her this.
Yeah, why don't you do it now?
But what do I have to keep telling her for in a text message that
Yeah,
the
because
washing
here's the
machine
thing,
doesn't work?
I don't think you ever told her that.
Oh, really? Well, we
Yeah,
don't care what you
really.
think, do we?
Oh, actually,
don't.
we do.
We don't.
Get out of my
That's
courtroom
fine.
now. Walk out.
That's fine.
Walk out, Jade.
Just to the
You
left,
are a
to the
crazy
left,
lady.
to the
That's
left.
the problem. All right? Actually, she's not a crazy lady. She's crazy like a fox. She's trying to get out of paying you. And all of the evidence couldn't be more forthright.
So she says the washer didn't work, but by sending that text about income taxes, did she blow her case?
Yes, she did. She owes for the washer and dryer.
So is this like catching her in a lie?
Yeah, totally, completely.
You believe the washer didn't work?
I believe it didn't work, but now you have to pay, and if you don't pay, there's no excuse.
Fair enough, going inside the courtroom.
What was the actual argument with the sister about?
It wasn't over what she had stated.
Yeah. So it's not enough that she takes your washer dryer and then doesn't pay for it. She also has to make stuff up about you to get you in trouble with your man?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Guess what? She's going to pay you the $250. She's also, what'd you pay to file the case?
It was like $150.
She's going to pay you that $150 too. And she's been owing you the $250 since she should have had her taxes done. So you're going to get prejudgment statutory interest from that date.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we good?
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff, Ms. Malone, is going to get her $250 finally, plus what you paid to file the case in court. You're going to get $400, you know, before it's over. You still are connected with her, though. You see her often, don't you?
No, I see her sister.
You see her sister. I mean, you two are at odds with each other. It's going
Yeah.
to wonder what's going to happen now as a result. What do you think will happen in the future?
I'll probably just cut ties with her sister just to be done with it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, very good. Feel better now?
Yeah, I feel better.
Yeah, you said you were going to win this case. Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good beard. Harvey?
Okay, I mean, getting that text from the defendant is so critical, but there's a bigger point here that if you're in a dispute with somebody and they won't pay you, I mean, I don't know how else to say it, bait them and have text discussions. You just need that one clarification confession, and then you are armed with a nuclear bomb in court.
This is the plaintiff, Simeon Clyde Harris Jr. He says he purchased a car from the defendant, and they entered into a monthly payment agreement. The crazy defendant started demanding accelerated payments, ended up coming to his house and stealing the car and the property that was in it from him. And he's here suing this eccentric woman for every penny of the $5,000 he's most definitely owed. This is the defendant, Sandra Damore. She says the first check the plaintiff gave her for the car bounced, and she was charged a bounce fee from her bank. The problems with the plaintiff continued from there, so she took the car back. After all, it was still in her name on the title, and she had every right to take it back for non-payment. Bottom line, no payment, no car. She's accused of changing a deal.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff bought a car from the defendant, and she started changing the terms of the deal, demanding accelerated payments, and eventually she stole the car back. Now, she says his check bounced, so all bets were off. It's the case of Help Me Honda.
Thank you,
You won't
Douglas. Simeon Clyde Harris Jr., you are suing Sandra Damore for $5,000, the statutory maximum in your state, my state. Tell me what's going on.
Back in June of 22nd of 16, I had met the defendant at a show that I was at. I play music, and the subject had came up that she was looking to sell the vehicle. And at that time, I was looking to buy a vehicle. So the short end of it, we started talking.
What kind of car is this?
It is a 2012 Chrysler 200.
Convertible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We started talking. Over a period of a past couple of days at that point, we decided to make a deal on the car.
What was the deal?
She asked me to draw up a contract on the details. So I drew up a contract. It was very, very, plain, simple, to the point.
May I see the contract? Okay, so the sale of the vehicle was for $8,800, and then you financed it at a rate of 5% for a total of $880 for 2 years. So the total sale of the vehicle, $9,680, correct? Well, all you had to do was put down $500 and you'd have a convertible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then make monthly payments of how much?
They were $250 a month.
Okay, and all you had to do was pay that $250 on time every month?
Correct.
Right, did you?
There was some late payments, but nonetheless, they weren't
May I
late.
see, do you have the proof of when you paid each of the payments?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, were any of them on time?
Like one, they ranged from being a day late.
Two?
I believe maybe 15 days.
No, the last one was a month late, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay,
yeah.
so you were late a lot, and that was getting her angry, and you knew that was getting her angry. And you felt that she was going to your house and trying to take the car from you, right? But she was denying it.
Yes, ma'am. She kept going, showing up at my residence, like all hours of the night sometimes.
But according to you, she would deny it when you'd call her?
Yes, ma'am.
Why would you deny it?
I didn't deny it. I went there 3 times to get my car.
Okay.
And each time it was a big drama, chaos, the cops. And he frightened me so much that
you kept going back because you went there 3 times. It couldn't have frightened you that much.
Well, the last time I ran away because he scared me so bad.
Well,
I brought the cops
I mean,
there.
you were trying to repossess a guy's vehicle. Right. So maybe you hire somebody to do that.
Then I did hire somebody.
Yeah, that's what you do. All right. Now, let me. What were you doing? Going in the middle of the night to his property?
Yes.
How are you not, like, and you're from Florida?
Yes.
You know, what if he shot you thinking you were a burglar? I mean, this is a bad idea.
Right, it was
particularly
on my
in a stand your
part.
ground state, but in any state.
I thought he would be asleep and I could just sneak the car away.
Okay, when did you become Annie Oakley? Like, when did you become, you know, what have you, I mean, that's kind of brazen.
Well, I would call him and tell him that I want my car back because you're not paying it. And I can't take the stress of this every month.
Right, every month having to chase him. That wasn't part of the deal.
And every day.
How often was he late?
Out of 12 months, he was late 8.
Okay.
I have the evidence on how many days he was late each month.
Let me see that. Here's what I'm not getting. When you bought the car, and then did you register it in your name?
Yes, ma'am. The day when we made the deal, what we did was we went down to a tag agency, the local tag agency. Together.
And transferred the title to your name.
Yes, ma'am. She
And
put the
placed
title,
you as a lien holder.
Right.
Right. That's the right way to do it.
which I have here.
Right. But then at some point, you switched the title to your name. You got a title in your name.
Yeah, I went back to there because I told him.
In March, you did that.
I went back and I called him and told him I was repossessing the car. Either he paid me in full or I was repossessing it. And he said it was a joke and all that. You can't do that. So I went to the motor vehicles and I said, I want the title back in my name.
Yeah,
the
but
registration and the insurance and the tag all stayed in his name.
Right, but you can't just say, I'd like this car placed in my name at the title agency. That's not how it works. You have to hand them a signed title that purports to have his signature on it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really? I'm pretty sure you handed a title change that purported to have his signature on it. Because there is no other way to do this. You had to have forged his signature.
I had the original title with the lien on it.
Right, oh yeah.
And I took that to the motor vehicles and I said I would like to put the car back in my name and take the lien off of it.
That's not how it works. You have to go to court and sue for the lien. There's no way they did that.
Well, I have.
No, see, the only way they could have done that is if you forged his signature and said, I repossessed the car, here, put the title back in my name.
So if somebody doesn't pay you for the car they bought from you, do you have a right to repo the car?
I mean, probably not. You would have to email them first and then tell them that.
Okay, well, fine. If you email them, then do you have a right to repo the car?
No, not factually.
Why?
Bad weather, bad terminology, but too much humanoids on the actual property rights.
Wow, that's interesting. Gonna go inside the courtroom.
So at some point you hire a company and they successfully repossess the car, correct?
In June 30th, I hired a company to go and get my car back.
And then they brought the car where?
To their pound.
Okay, you try to get, according to you, you had stuff in it.
Yes, ma'am.
And you text her, I have stuff in it. Do you ever tell her, I have my computer, I need it for work, I need it for... Do you ever say in your text, I have a computer there?
Yes,
Show me the text where you say that. Also, when the contract you told him to draw up doesn't say anything about you having a right of repossession. That's something that has to be in the contract. Otherwise, your right is to go to court and ask for a judgment against him for the full amount right now. You don't get to self-help like this. But if you want to have a repossession clause, then you have to put it in there. It's not in your contract. So then you repossess it, and then I see him texting you, I want to get my stuff, I want to get my stuff.
Right.
Right. So where, did you find any texts that actually say, I want to get my computer?
You know what, Your Honor? No, I apologize. I don't. The only thing I mention is my personal things.
Yeah, that's all you say.
Yeah,
because I would think that if you had jewelry to the tune of how much are you suing for? Jewelry to the tune of $350 and a Vizio laptop to the tune of $300, that those words might actually come out of your mouth when you're texting, as opposed to my stuff.
Your Honor.
Now, what was in the car?
I have pictures of what was in the car.
Who took the pictures?
I did. When I got the car out of pound, the guy that towed the car, he was...
Do you know the guy who towed the car? Is he a friend?
No.
Okay, let me see the pictures.
The other thing, I have texts that says that he left his guitar, amp, and other accessories in there. He's not suing me for any of that.
What happened with telling her you left your guitar, your amp?
I figured if she knew the severity of it, that.
But that's a lie. That's not knowing the severity. You figured if you lied about how important it was, that she would what?
I figured she would at least meet up with me, give me my things, and
then your answer, because you're supposed to, even if you had a right to repossess, you're absolutely supposed to give him a chance to get his personal items out of the car. So what are we going to do now? You ended up getting the car. This, according to you, are the pictures of what's inside, which is a Yingling Lager pail. What is this blue thing? A lunchbox?
It's a lunchbox. It was all trashed.
Well, okay. Where is all this stuff? Did you bring it today?
All that's trash. No, I didn't bring any.
You threw it out?
But this here, I have in a text that the company that makes these or whatever he was working for, that they were going to sue me too for these.
Okay.
And
so let's see those.
They said they're worth like 5 cents. That's what I was told.
When you texted about suing, the company was going to sue.
I told her there's actually a lot more than that in there. There was
7 more.
Where are the rest of them?
I left them at home because I couldn't carry all of it.
You couldn't carry 4 more of these?
No, 7 more.
Just a minute. I'm sorry?
7 more. And
you couldn't carry 7 more of these?
Well, I have a breathing problem, and I can't carry things.
I know, and I know I saw in the text how you told him. You told him, and yet the judge is not going to appreciate that you took advantage of a 70-year-old woman. First of all, you look great for 70. And second of all, please don't play that card because you're repossessing stuff in the middle of the night. You are the most fierce 70-year-old, so don't play the victim. I can't stand that, and there's no reason to play the victim. I couldn't carry 7 more of these. Come on.
Well,
are you kidding me? Stop.
I have less.
What? No, I want you to answer exactly what I'm asking, with no whining allowed. Besides the 7 more of these, what else do you have that was in the car? The lunchbox, or did you throw that out?
I threw all that out.
Okay, so do you have anything else besides the other 7? I can carry 3, but I can't carry 7 more. Okay, anything else?
No.
Because they all fit in the Coach purse you're carrying. Okay, all right, now, what happened to the car?
My brother came down from Tennessee and took it up there because I was so afraid.
Did he sell it?
No, I still have it, and if he wants it back.
Who has the car right now?
My
Your brother in Tennessee?
In Tennessee, and it has. I went and got tags and insurance on it.
In Tennessee?
No, in Florida, and then he came down to Florida because I was afraid because he had said that I would never see this car again and threatened me 18 times.
So you had your brother come down and drive the car to Tennessee so he wouldn't be able to get it back.
On these here, he threatened me 18 times that I was going to jail and all kinds of bad stuff.
Oh, I know. I read the text.
Right.
He said, you don't have a right to take the car away. You don't have a right to hold my stuff hostage. You're going to go to jail. This is a felony. Yeah.
And he called the cops 3 times on me, and the cops couldn't do anything.
Yeah, because the cops are like, the title's in her name, dude.
Right.
And you're like, what? The title's in her name? How did that happen?
And the thing
There's only one way that can happen.
And the thing was, he knew my nerves were bad because I lost 2 of my grown children.
Okay, I'm very sorry that you lost 2 of your grown children. But let me make some recommendation. If you suffer from anxiety or bad nerves, probably you should not be repossessing cars in the middle of the night from a big guy.
I know.
That is not a good position for you to be.
I didn't make the right decisions because I'm so
All right, stop
vulnerable.
talking, please. Stop. Please stop.
Ma'am.
Can you use these? What are these about? Or that was just, you didn't really care?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor.
All right, no, I don't want you to say another word. All right, so here's what we've got. We've got you breaching a contract in terms of your late payments. I mean, you think it's okay, but it's not okay to constantly every month be late. We've got her doing something the contract did not, in my estimation, give her a right to do, which is to repossess the vehicle and self-help. She's in the position of anybody else who has a contract and a breach. She has to go to court and get help. We also have you going to a tag agency and forging his signature so that you can get the title back in your name, which is outrageous. But I've got you using a car for a year. You can't possibly think that you're going to get free use of a car for a year and that it's not going to cost you something, that you're not only going to get the money you paid back, more money on top of it, and then, hey, I had a bunch of stuff in there. You can't possibly think that that's fair. It's not. All right. What is fair? Douglas, what time is it?
I'm feeling a little rough justice, Your Honor.
You feeling it?
I feel it.
Are you feeling the rough justice? Because I'm feeling it pouring out right now. Let's do a little math. All right. I am going to order the defendant to return to the plaintiff the amount of $1,500. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wow.
Well, the plaintiff is going to get $1,500, not $5,000. Mr. Moore, the defendant. Listen, I really would. Did you forge that
No, I
signature?
did not. I went to, not the motor vehicles.
You flat out deny that you should.
I
You
did
know
not.
Judge Melian was a judge in the state of Florida for many
Okay,
years before
okay.
coming to the People's Court. She
No,
knows the law.
I don't recall. Okay?
You don't recall what?
I lost 2 of my children, and my memory
I know, she's very
is,
sorry about
my
that.
memory is not good. I can't remember things. I really don't.
You just don't remember
And
whether you forged?
I don't remember ever signing his name. I would never do that.
Well,
but I didn't
she's
go.
convinced you did. Okay.
I went
Sorry
to a
about that.
tagging.
Ma'am, I'm
but-
sorry.
okay.
Case is over.
Right.
You lost.
Thank you.
Okay? Very good. Now, here comes the plaintiff. This is a wild case. Wild case. Interesting. Okay. You all right now?
I'm okay.
All right? You know, you lost the stuff. You claimed the computer and everything.
Yes.
The judge doesn't believe that was in the car.
Yeah,
You know,
All right.
interesting. All right, you get $1,500.
Yes,
Good enough?
I'm okay with that.
Good
Yes,
enough.
yes.
You're going to have to be.
Absolutely,
That's the judge's
yes.
decision. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, if you want the ability to repossess, you have to put that in the contract before you sell it.
This is the plaintiff, Annette Resendez. She says she brought her truck to the defendant, a mechanic, because she needed a new engine, and the guy's had her truck for over a year. She thinks the defendant looked at her like a little old lady he could scam. But she's here to prove that's not the case because she's suing him for the $5,000 he now owes her. This is the defendant, Pat Woodall. He says he loaned the plaintiff a car to use while he worked on her truck, but she needed a new engine, and it took him a while to find one that would work. This woman cursed him out so many times his blood pressure shot up, and he landed in the hospital for a week due to her craziness. Bottom line, he owes her nothing. He's accused of trucking up a deal.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff brought her truck to the defendant for repairs. He had it for a year, and she thinks that she's getting the runaround because she's a woman. The defendant says, come on, she cursed him out so much he ended up in the hospital. It's the case of I am woman. Now let me hear my engine roar.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Annette Resendez?
Yes.
You're suing Mr. Woodall, who was supposed to be fixing your truck and then just never returned it to you. What happened?
Well, on November the 8th,
Of what year?
2018,
Okay.
my car broke down, and I couldn't afford to, the mechanic that quoted me a price, I couldn't afford that price. And
They quoted you $2,000 because they said you needed a new engine.
Yes.
So how did you find the defendant the defendant offered to do it for you for $900?
He was a friend of my neighbor's, and she had used him. She said he was reputable, and she recommended him, so I called him, and he quoted me the price, and I agreed. I was
Now, do you have a shop or you're...
I got a shop, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So she entrusts you with you were just starting to shake your head. Does he have a shop or no?
No, he didn't have a shop when I gave him my car. I met him at an AutoZone parking lot. And
if you have a shop,
AutoZone-
why would she be meeting you at an AutoZone?
That's where I was at.
Typically, if you have a shop, they just meet you at
Well,
the
I
shop.
wasn't been at the shop at the time, but I
Oh,
moved
you
to
didn't
somewhere
have
else.
a shop.
at
Well,
the time.
that's
I got
the
a shop.
time is why
I got
is
shop
what I'm asking.
in January.
So at the time, you're what we call an alley mechanic. But that was fine for you because it was half the price that you had been quoted, less than half.
Right.
So how much money do you give him?
I gave him $900.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have, I know. But I gave him the $900. It was such a good price. I was going to go to my daughter's wedding in California. I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. And he said to be ready when I came back. When I came back, wasn't ready, and I couldn't find it because he had driven it off into the forest. He said he couldn't work on it in the city, that he had to go to the country to work on it.
What city are we talking about?
Arkansas.
What city?
I haven't lived there that long.
Where's the truck?
Hot Springs.
Where's the truck right now? Still?
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Okay, why has a year passed?
Why?
Why has 1 year passed?
Okay.
I can't make my question
Okay,
any simpler.
So do mechanics take advantage of women? What do you say?
I think that they can if they're dishonest.
No, I know they can, but do they?
Yes, I think so.
Why?
because they expect women not to know what their car's about.
Do women know what their cars are about?
Some do.
Do they know more as much as what men know about cars?
They can.
Do they?
I don't know. Do they?
Why are you evading this?
I don't know. I would.
There's something you're not.
Ask for the old parts, and you want to see so that you don't get. So you got to know. You got to know what you're gonna.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I bought the motor from John on Mill Creek, and he told me it would work, and I put it in there, and it wouldn't work. So I pulled it out, and I sat upside that, and I said, well, the heads is different on things wrong, different. I could change heads if the heads both don't break, because it broke in hers. Taking the head off, going to switch heads. So I asked her, I said, you want me to change it? She said, yeah, change it. I take the head off, and the both broke off in it. So I ain't nothing I could do with that no more. I can't sell it or nothing when it both broke off in the block. So I had my buddy keep an eye on the auctions, find an 06 that had a good motor, was wrecked. The only one he found in a period of time was 06. It wasn't wrecked, but it had a bad motor in it. So then after that, she started calling me and cussed me.
Well, it was a year. Like, don't you understand why a customer might not appreciate that you take their $900 and do nothing in a year that benefits them? A year? It's not a month and she started to cuss you out. It's a year that she's without her car. Now, my understanding is that he gave you a car to use in the meantime?
He gave me a car that I gave right back because it didn't have any paperwork for it. I drove it to my house. Then I realized, wait a minute, these tags aren't right. I took it right back. And I didn't leave it.
When did you take it right back?
Within about a week and a half.
Is that accurate?
About 3 weeks.
Sir, what is your game plan? Like, I'm just curious.
I was trying to find a sentence.
Yeah, but how long is it going to take you to do that? You've had a year.
I got sick of them. The last 4 months, I ain't worked.
Sick how?
I've been in the hospital, been on medicine.
Sick how?
Blood pressure real high.
Who's the lady next to you?
This is my daughter who spoke to him on the phone. She called him from California. And, well, go ahead and explain what he said.
I called him about 9 months into my mom's car not being ready, asking him when he was going to return
When
it to
did you
her.
learn that your mother hadn't had her car and her truck in 9 months?
Well, I didn't complain
No, I'm
either.
sure you didn't come clean. So when did you find it out all of a sudden when she said, listen, I need your help. I didn't want to tell you this.
and
But I can know exactly how it sounds.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was upset that she gave him the money up front, and it was just excuse after excuse every time I talked to him on the phone. And I only talked to him, I think once, and then I tried to call him a second time, and then he wouldn't answer my calls.
Okay. Do you have any paperwork for the car?
I have the pictures.
This is the
Here's the
contract
receipt.
I purchased.
Is that the contract for purchase? That's
Yes, 'cause
excellent. Let me have that in the pictures. That's good. That's all I need. When were these pictures taken?
They were taken at, just recently, I think the end of October.
Did you get the car back, or you found out
No.
where it was?
Yeah, I found where it was.
And then you just went over there and took pictures?
Took pictures of it.
I had it towed to the shop.
To what shop?
Albert Pike over there.
To your shop?
Yes, ma'am. So they done stole a bunch of parts off of it.
What
So I
is
got
your
the-
game plan? I'm just so curious. How did you propose that life was going to end up here?
I give her another car. She can do what she wants to with it till I find her
She
another
doesn't
one.
want, no, till you find when. What efforts have you made to find another engine? Because a year has passed. I mean, you're talking like a guy who's had it for 3 weeks. It's a year. Why would anybody have any faith that you're going to find an engine?
When I find a whole car, 'cause I need a bunch of parts. A bunch of parts went missing. I need
Then
a
why
whole
don't you
car.
return the lady's car and money?
It wasn't ready in a month. The motor I bought was wrong. Wrong year. Wouldn't work.
I don't care. That's a you problem. How is that a her problem?
It wasn't her problem. It was
Right.
mine.
So why wouldn't you then return the lady's $900 and return the lady's car and say, this is above my pay grade. I don't want to cheat you out of your $900. Take it to someone else to fix. Here's your $900. Here's your car. Why didn't you do that?
He wouldn't give me the $500 back on the motor.
That's a you problem. You bought the wrong motor.
No, he sold me the
Where
wrong
are
motor.
we not understanding each other?
He sold me the wrong motor.
then
He sold it at
you
work.
hack it out with whoever you bought the wrong motor from, who sold you the wrong motor. That is a you problem. How does that mean that she's out of truck? How does that mean that? Well, I gave you a car, so that'll just satisfy you. How? On what planet does it mean that? And the car that you gave her, who's it registered to?
He's a registered friend of mine.
Honestly, how are you in business? I am going to order you to return her $900, and then I'm going to try to determine what a 2006 GMC truck that has no motor is worth, because it is most certainly not worth what you say it's worth. I have a Blue Book value. You have a Blue Book value. But you basically, who determined the Blue Book value? You did?
Yes.
Did you just mark yes to every single thing?
No. Well,
Did you?
it's fully loaded. It does have all of the options.
It was a beautiful car.
Did you have a tow package?
Yeah, I was. I had a trailer.
Did you?
But before I moved from California.
Okay. What year was it?
2006.
Was it an SLE, an SLE 4-door, an SLT? You would think that would be on the sales receipt, right?
Yeah, I couldn't find anything like that on there.
Okay, we're going to kind of estimate. I'm going to value your shell, because that's what you handed him, a shell. I'm going to value your shell at $1,200. I'm going to order him to return the $900 for a sum total judgment in your favor of $2,100. That's my verdict. Pay
Thank
the
you.
lady.
Well, it wasn't too good a day for the defendant in court today. Mr. Woodall, you've been ordered to pay her $2,100. What are you thinking?
That's all right.
You didn't seem to understand that the judge thought waiting a year was just too doggone long.
It was too long, but I had problems.
Yeah?
I
But
got-
you made them her problems.
No, she made her own problems.
No.
That woman cussed a lot.
She did?
Every time she did, I hanged the phone up. I quit talking to her.
She sent you to the hospital?
Yeah, got my blood pressure way up and it's still up. They stay way up. I never had a woman like that in my life. I have been having customers for 8, 10 years.
Yeah?
Straight customers, original customers. Never
Okay.
had one that cussed me like she has.
Well, be more careful who you accept as a customer in the future.
yeah.
All right? Okay, you must go now.
right, thank
you must sign some documents. Ms. Resendez says you cussed him out a lot. Did you really?
No.
He says you did.
No.
Shot his blood pressure
Oh,
up?
God. He was in the hospital for an infection in his arm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, well, you were asking for $5,000. You didn't get $5,000.
Well, something's better than nothing.
Yes. And you do tow things around? You know?
I did in California,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
I had a trailer and I towed stuff.
All right, well, good luck to you. Congratulations.
Thank
I
you
hope
very
you find
much.
a vehicle that works for
Yes,
you.
I do.
Okay, good luck. Thank you. Harvey?
Doug, a lot of states have a Bureau of Automotive Repair that license these auto repair shops. Call them if you got beef.